Okay, Patty. Today we're going to see repeated and double comparatives. As you know, comparatives are adjectives. Okay, for example, lower, it's a comparative. Lower, a comparative, we have the ER ending. Okay, so for example, in repeated comparatives, in example number 1, you have the birth rate is getting lower and lower. Generally, we're going to use repeated comparatives, okay, when something is increasing or when something is decreasing. What does this mean? When something is increasing is because it's going up, okay, like it's going yes, that is going up, it's going higher. When it's decreasing, it's because it's going down, okay, the number is less. Now, for example, you have fewer and fewer children are leaving school, okay. If we have children are leaving school fewer and fewer, it doesn't make sense. Why? Because fewer and fewer is giving a characteristic of children, okay. So over here, the birth rate is getting lower and lower. The birth rate getting, which is your verb, okay, lower and lower is modifying the action, okay. So you can have the comparative at the end, at the beginning, or in the middle of the sentence, okay. But the only difference is that you have to be careful to identify what is the comparative modifying, okay. Now, for example, over here you have two questions. Number 1, which repeated comparatives in the example sentences describe things that are increasing? Which ones do you think they are? The ones that describe increasing are obviously more and longer and longer, because more and longer, or more and longer describe, they are like positive adjectives, okay, and they show progress or something that is getting bigger. Now, and the opposite, okay, things that are decreasing, we have lower and lower and fewer and fewer. Now, so we are using repeated comparatives, okay, the same adjective here and the same adjective over here. Now, for example, now we have here double comparatives, okay. The double comparatives are going to describe what is the cause and the effect of something, okay. You will always have a cause and effect reaction or a cause and effect relationship. For example, number 1, you have the more and you have the later, okay. The more education women get, this is the cause. The later they get married, this is the consequence, okay. In Spanish, it's like saying, mientras más educación tengan las mujeres, más tarde es que se quieren casar, okay. So you have in the first part a cause and in the second part an effect. Now, number 2, the better the quality of health care, look at this verb, is in parentheses, we don't use it, comma, the higher the life expectancy. And we have in parentheses the verb be. One more time. The better the quality of healthcare, the higher the life expectancy. Okay, so what is the cause? Healthcare is good. And when healthcare is good, what is the consequence? People are going to live more. Now, for example, try to do this example with me. Choose a letter of the best interpretation. Number 1. The less children studied, cause, comma, the more slowly they learned, consequence. You have A and B. Children studied less because they were slow learners, or children studied less so they learned more slowly. What do you think the answer is, A or B? Okay, the answer for number 1 is letter B. Because children studied less, the consequence is that they learned more slowly. Now, here in number 2, you have a very important question. Which verbs is sometimes omitted in double comparatives? Take a look at this example. The better the quality of health care, the higher the life expectancy. The verb that you have in parentheses is the verb be. Commonly is at the end of each sentence, at the end of the sentence. So, when you have double comparatives and you have a verb be in the sentence, the most likely is that you're going to omit the verb be. You don't need it. Okay? So, for example, over here, it says be careful. Don't use continuous verb forms in double comparatives. Okay? So, I can have, if you take very close attention, number 1 and number 2 and this number 3, they don't have a continuous tense. They have action verbs, but they are not continuous. So, number 1, or letter A, the longer couples wait to have children, the fewer children they have. Letter B, the longer couples are waiting to have children, the fewer children they're having. Which one do you think is correct? A or B? Obviously, it's letter A, because we cannot use a continuous verb to explain double comparatives. Please, Patty, take a look at these sentences from 1 to 9, and I want you to follow these instructions, okay? Complete the sentences or form the sentences, and please send them to me through Facebook, through inbox, okay? And I'm going to check them. If you have any question, please let me know.